my channel. Today, we will be having a tutorial video about how to fill out Form I-485 application to register permanent residence or adjustment of status. You can pause the video along the way if you need to do it while you are filling out your own form. This tutorial is divided into three major parts since we are going to submit three forms from the USCIS.gov website. So let's go to that website, www.uscis.gov. Now I need you to go to that website and type in Form I-485, or you can use Adjustment of Status. This is how it should look like. As you can see, there are three items in there available for download. Number 1 is the Form I-485. Number 2 is the instructions for Form I-485. And the third one is for Form G1145, or a notification of application petition acceptance. Go ahead and click that Form G1145, and this is how it should look like. In here, you will see the purpose of the form. So basically, this is just a form where you need to fill out at the bottom part your petitioner's last name, petitioner's full name, and the full middle name. So you have an option to either put your name or your husband's name. So in my case, I did put my husband's name on those areas, as well as his email address and his phone number. And keep in mind that you need to get 3 copies of this form. You will be using 3 copies, 1 for adjustment of status, 1 for employment permit or work permit, and 1 for advance parole. Once you're done printing the G1145, let's go back to the previous page. You can see down below the filing fee, and here we are under age 14 to 78, and the form fee is $1,140 with the biometric services fee of $85 with the total of $1,225. And then go to edition date, and you will see that this form edition date is July 15, 2019, and that they will also accept the December 13, 2017 edition. You can also see here where to file according to your eligibility category. But don't worry, I will be providing you an address where to send your AOS packet. Now click the Form I-485 so you can see this form will expire on the upper right corner on July 31st, 2021. Before you start filling out this form, make sure that you have a scratch paper where you have all the information you need for this page or for all the pages that we have for this form. So this form has a total of 18 pages. I know this might be a little overwhelming, but don't worry, I will be here to guide you fill out, and make sure you have a black ball pen, and please refrain from using a sign pen as it might damage your paper, since gel pens or sign pens usually, blot the ink at the back of the pages. So if you're doing, or if you're printing your forms back-to-back pages to save paper, that can, using sign pen can affect your application, of course. Alright, now let's start filling out this form. So the first box there says for USCIS use only. So under that bar, don't write anything, as well as the other box they're saying that to be completed by an attorney or accredited representative if there is any. So just leave it blank. Don't put anything on it. And next thing that we need to fill out is the A number or the alien number. It is located in all of the pages of the form I-485 as well as all of the other pages or forms that we will be submitting to the USCIS. So make sure that you fill out your alien number. So you might be asking, where do I find my alien number, or do I have an alien number? So let me just check my paper here, because I saw my alien number in all of my form I-797C or all of the notice of action that I have received. It is actually below the notice date. You will see letter A and then number sign on it, and it has 9-digit number that starts with a letter A. So just go over all of the documents that you have received from USCIS and you will see your A number in there. Alright, going back to our form I-485, after you have written all of your A numbers, we now go to the one that says start here, and then it says type or print in black ink. And make sure you read all of the notes in here. So it says, note to all applicants: if you do not completely fill out this application or fail to submit required documents listed in the instructions, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services or USCIS may deny your application. So this is true. I have read a lot of forums and also comments on Facebook that they have been denied with their applications from the USCIS just because they have missed or have forgotten to put an important detail in their forms, most especially the signatures and the dates. Make sure you double or triple check and check with your husband, check with other people or other person in the house to make sure that you have filled out every box that needed to be filled out. Okay, so let's go to part 1, information about you or the person applying for lawful permanent residence. Your current legal name. Make sure you don't provide a nickname, okay? So 1A, this is family name or your last name. So your current legal name, since you are already married, is your married last name. Next is your given name. So Filipinos has always or most of the time 2 given names, so make sure you put all of your names on it, and then your middle name. Okay, that should be easy. And then other names you have used since birth if applicable. Note, provide all other names you have ever used, including your family name at birth, other legal names, nicknames, aliases, and assumed names. If you need extra space to complete this section, use the space provided in Part 14, Additional Information. So 2.A, this is your last name or your maiden last name. And then 2B, your given name, and 2C, your middle name or your mother's maiden name, right? Okay, so 3A, if you have more than 2 last names that you have used before, this applies to people who have been, married before, like you used other last names.
So this applies to 3.A and so on. Okay? And then let's move on to other information about you. That's number 5. Date of birth, that starts with month, day, and year. So just put the 0 in the first digit if you were born from January to August. Okay? So that's very self-explanatory. And then there is a note here. In addition to providing your actual date of birth, include any other dates of birth you have used in connection with any legal names or non-legal names in the space provided in Part 14 additional information. So this only applies to those people who, have been either registered late, or there are issues with their birth dates that you may have used other birthdays other than the one that you are using right now. Okay? And number 6 is your sex orientation, if you're male or female. And then number 7, city or town of birth. Alright, so we are now on page number 2. Don't forget to put your alien number at the upper right corner of this page. Alright, so in here we have another part 1, information about you, the person applying for the lawful permanent residence. So this is in continuation. So number 8, it says here your country of birth. So again, this is self-explanatory. And number 9, country of citizenship or nationality. So if your country of birth is Philippines and your nationality is Filipino. Okay. Number 10 is your alien registration number. So again, you put your alien number in there. But it says here if there is any. So if you were not given any, then you don't need to provide. Okay. Number 11, USCIS online account number. I do not remember my account number, so I just left it blank, and it's not much of a problem. I was still approved of my application. Okay. And then number 12 is your social security number. So when I applied for my AOS, I was not given my SSN yet because I passed 90 days before going to SSA. So you actually have the option when you arrive here in the US to go to SSA to get your SSN, and that will be under your maiden last name. So if you have no plans of changing your last name to your husband's last name, you can do it. But if not, you can still do it. But after you get married, you have to change your last name to your SSN. So what I did, I just waited for the application of my AOS so that I will just be given one SSN under my husband's last name. Alright, next item is your US mailing address. That's in 13A. So what I have in here is in care of, so I put my husband's full name in there, and then your street number and name on 13B, 13C if you're in a condo, what floor or what suite, and if you're using or if you are renting an apartment, so yeah, check whichever applies to you. Your city on 13D, and 13E state, and 13F your zip code. Alright, next item in here is alternate and or safe mailing address. So if you are applying based on the Violence Against Women Act or VAWA, or as a special immigrant juvenile, human trafficking victim, T non-immigrant, or victim of a crime or you non-immigrant and you do not want USCIS to send notices about this application to your home, you may provide an alternate or safe mailing address. So this only applies to a certain group of people who are victim of violence and they are currently living, somewhere else, not in the address that USCIS previously knows. So they use that address. Hopefully, none of you needs to use this part. Okay. Okay, let's move on to recent immigration history. So here, the information that you will provide in the items number 15 to 19 is in your passport. Okay, number 15 is your passport number used at last arrival. Okay, it should be very self-explanatory as well. And then number 16 is a travel document number used at last arrival. So what I actually used on that is still my passport number. Let me just go over my notes just to make sure I am correct. Yeah, so I just used my passport number on that. And then number 17, expiration date of this passport or travel document. So yeah, it's still in your passport. Number 18, country that issued this passport or travel document. So in my case, it's Philippines. And then number 19, non-immigrant visa number from this passport. Okay, let me just go over my notes. So you will see that in your visa, you will see your non-immigrant visa number on your passport. This number is located on your visa page. It is in the lower right corner. It is composed of a letter and a 7-digit number, and it is in red color. Okay, next is number 20, a city or town of your place of last arrival into the United States. So this is your point of entry, POE. So in my case, I entered in Ontario, that's in California. It is the airport where I entered here in the US, so I put Ontario and the state is in California. Number 21 is the date of last arrival, so that's the date when you arrived here in the US. So it is still in your passport. You can see a stamp in there that you have been admitted to the United States. So the immigration officer usually put your expiration date of your K1 visa with it. Okay, and then when I last arrived in the United States, 22A was inspected at a point of entry and admitted as, okay, so I put a check on 22A, and then on that box I put K1 visa. Number 22B, let's see, I was inspected at the port of entry and paroled as, so this is not applicable, so just leave this 22B blank. 22C, leave it blank, and then 22D other, just leave it blank. Okay, and then if you were issued a form I-94 arrival departure record number, that's where 23A will come. Form I-94 arrival departure record number. So when I came here in the United States, I was not given that form, but approximately a week or two after your arrival, you can actually get that I-94 record in the website. The website is https i94.cbp.dhs.gov. That's the website that you will type into your browser. So this is how the page would look like, and just select the second from the left. It says here already visiting and need proof of visitor status, and just click get most recent I-94 and just follow the prompts, and at the end you will be able to print out your latest I-94. Alright, so going back to page 2 of our I-485, we are on 23B. It says here expiration date of authorized stay shown on for I-94. So you will also see your visa's expiration date on I-94 and just put it on the box in here. And then 23C, status on for I-94. So your status in here is your class of admission, which is K1 visa. So just put K1 visa in 23C. Alright, so we are now on page number 3. And don't forget again to put on your, or to write down your alien number at the upper right corner of this page. So we are now on number 24. It is a question that what is your current immigration status if it has changed since your arrival? So what did I answer on this page or on this number? Let me see. So in here I just put again K1 visa. And then number 25A, 25B, and 25C, provide your name exactly as it appears on your form I-94. So what appears on my form I-94 is my maiden name. So I put my full maiden name on this number 25, 25A, B, and C. And then part 2, application type or filing category. So the note says here, attach a copy of the form I-797 receipt or approval notice of the underlying petition or application as appropriate. So yeah, I have attached my notice of action, my NOA, regarding the approval of my K1 visa. So I just attached the photocopy of it. And then let's see, it says here, I am applying to the register lawful permanent residence or adjust status to that of a lawful permanent resident based on the following immigrant category. So we only have to select one box for this. We are family-based visa, so disregard all the 1.B up to 1.G. So we only choose from 1.A, which is family-based, and I checked the third box saying that I am a person admitted to United States as a fiancé or fiancé or child of a fiancé of a U.S. citizen, Form I-129F, K1 or K2 non-immigrant. So that's the only box that we need to check, okay? And now we go to question number 2. Are you applying for adjustment based on the Immigration and Nationality Act or INA Section 245I? So the answer on this question is yes. So we are now on the page 4 of our application. So again, don't forget your alien number at the upper right corner of this page. Now this is part 2 of the application type or filing category. Says here information about your immigrant category. If you are the principal applicant, provide the following information. So I am the principal applicant, and the information that I will be providing on number 3, it says here receipt number of underlying petition. So for our case, K1 visa, our receipt number is given in our NOAA or I-797. It is on the upper left corner. You will see a receipt number and it starts with the letter M, S, C. And then it has a priority date below. Okay, so after you put your receipt number, number 3, you can now provide the priority date of our petition. Okay, so the next item in here says if you are a derivative applicant. So derivative means the spouse or unmarried child under 21 years of age of a principal applicant. Provide the following information for the principal applicant. So usually this does not apply to our case, but if you have questions, just send me a message so I can help you with this item. But I did not put any answer on this since I am the principal applicant. Okay, so I'll be proceeding to part 3, additional information about you. So question number 1, have you ever applied for an immigrant visa to obtain permanent residence status at a U.S. embassy or consulate abroad? So my answer on this box is no. I have never applied for any kind of U.S. visa, may it be tourist or any other kind outside U.S. So the next item here is dependent on your answer on number 1. So if you answered yes to item number 1, you will need to complete items number 2 to 4 below. So since I answered no, I will leave 2, 3, 4 blank. Now let's proceed to the address history. It says here, provide physical addresses for everywhere you have lived during the last 5 years, to whether inside or outside the United States, and provide your current address first. If you need extra space to complete this section, use the space provided in Part 14, additional information. So let me just check my details here. Alright, so please remember all of the addresses that you have lived in during the last 5 years. So in my case, I have been in the Philippines for like since I was born, and then spent a year in the UAE or in Dubai, and then I went back to Philippines. So what I did is that I entered first my current address here in the US, of course, because I'm currently here right now. And then next is the Philippines, because that's the place where I lived before I came to the US. And then I spent 1 year in Dubai, so I put 1 year, and then another address in the Philippines, since that's where I have been for the last 20 years. Okay, so if you have never left the Philippines for the last 5 years, so just put your current address right now in the Philippines, and I mean in the US, and then 1 in the Philippines. Anyway, they will be questioning you on the interview. regarding your address history, if any. So that's it for the page 4, quite easy to answer. Alright, so we are now on page 5. And again, don't forget your alien number at the upper right corner of this page. So it says here, part 3, additional information about you continued. In here, you will put all the addresses until number 10. So if there is no more address that you can put, just leave it blank, okay? And then employment history. It says here, provide your employment history for the last 5 years, whether inside or outside the United States. Provide the most recent employment first, and if you need extra space to complete, there is part 14 additional information. So this is very easy. Just put all of the information that is asked for your employment history. Just make sure that you put the recent employer up to the first employer that you have. Now we are on page number 6. Again, don't forget the alien number at the upper right corner of this page. Part 3, additional information about you continued. So this is the continuation of your employment history. And then on part 4, information about your parents. So this page is very easy to fill out. You just have to put your parents' information on this page, okay? Just make sure that the information about your parents is also consistent with your birth certificate. We are now at page 7. This is also an easy page to fill out. Again, don't forget your alien number at the upper right corner of this page. So part 5, information about your marital history. Question number 1, what is your current marital status? So current marital status is, of course, married. So check that box. And then number 2, if you're married, is your spouse a current member of U.S. Armed Forces or U.S. Coast Guard? So in my case, he isn't, so I just click no. Number 3, how many times have you been married, including annulled marriages and marriages to the same person? So this applies to those who has been previously married. So if you've been married before your current marriage, so you have to include that. So in my case, I have only been married once to my current husband, so I just put 1. Okay, next item in here is the information about your current marriage, including if you are legally separated. So 4A says here, current spouse's legal name. It's very easy to fill out. Just put your current spouse's information in here in 4A, 4B, 4C. Number 5 is the alien number if your husband has any. In my case, my husband had an alien number before, but I did not put it because I don't know where's where is it right now, but it doesn't matter. It's okay, especially that my husband is already a U.S. citizen, so it's cool. Number 6, current spouse's date of birth. Number 7, date of marriage to current spouse. So this is your date of marriage. And then on number 8, A, B, and C, your spouse's place of birth. And then in item number 9, A, B, and C, place of marriage to current spouse. So this is your the information in your marriage certificate. And then number 10, is your current spouse applying with you? Yes or no? In my case, no, so I ticked no. Next item, information about your prior marriages, if any. So this item does not apply to me since I have not been previously married to anyone else. But to those who have been married before, please put the information on item number 11 through number 15. Okay, so we are now at page 8 of our adjustment of status. Again, don't forget to fill out the alien number at the upper right corner of this page. Part 5, information about your marital history, continuation. So this is item 16, A, B, and C. Now let's go to part 6, information about your children. So on this part, it does not apply to me since I do not have any kids yet, and so I left blank in all of the items part 1 to 16 for part 6. Now if this applies to you, please make sure you include all of your children's of your children on this part. Okay, now I go to part number 7, biographic information. Number 1, ethnicity. Select only one if you are Hispanic or Latino, or not Hispanic or Latino. So I am not Hispanic, not Latino. I chose the second box. Number 2, race. Please select all applicable boxes. So I chose the second box as I am clearly an Asian. Now let's go to page 9. Again, alien number at the upper right corner of this page. Part number 7, biographic information continued. Number 3, your height in feet and inches. Number 4, weight in pounds. Number 5, your eye color. Number 6, your hair color. That was easy. Okay, so part number 8 now is the general eligibility and inadmissibility grounds. Number 1, have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any organization, association, fund, foundation, party, club, society, or similar group in the United States or in any other location in the world, including any military service? So since I have not in any way been a part of any military services, I have answered no. Now, depending on your answer in this yes or no question in number 1, that you need to answer the next items below. So if you answered yes in item number 1, you need to provide the information on item number 2 through 13B. So since I have answered no, I will leave this blank. Now we are at page number 10, part 8, general eligibility and inadmissibility grounds continued. Again, write your alien number at the upper right corner of this page. Answer items answer item numbers 14 to 80B. Choose the answer that you think is correct. If you answer yes to any questions, or if you answer no but you're unsure of your answer, provide the explanation of the events and circumstances in this space provided in part 14, additional information. So carefully read each of these questions because this is very important. This will determine if you are eligible or you are not allowed to be admitted to the United States. So I'll start reading the questions for you. Number 14. Have you ever been denied admission to the United States? Yes or no? Number 15. So I answered, by the way, in number 14, no. Number 15. Have you ever been denied a visa to the United States? My answer is no. I have never applied for any kind of visa other than K1 visa, which was approved. Number 16. Have you ever worked in the United States without authorization? My answer is no. In the duration of my stay in the United States, I have never worked, even if it's under the table, but in secret, I have never worked. So it is very important that you do not work without authorization because you might get deported. Please, please, please be honest. And also make sure that you don't put your all your sacrifices into what we call alanganin. So do not make any actions that can affect your future. So it's very important that you don't work without any authorization. I know we do understand that we need to help our husbands in this time that we want to pay them back for all the support they have given us from K1 visa, but we have to wait further. Just be patient enough. You will get your employment authorization, and with that, that's the only time you are allowed to work in the United States. So under any other circumstances, please do not work without any work permit. Okay, so my answer in number 16 is no. Number 17. Have you ever violated the terms and conditions of your non-immigrant status? My answer is no. So remember that working without authorization is a violation of the terms or conditions of your non-immigrant status. Number 18. Are you presently or have you ever been in removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings? My answer is no. So actually, if you work without work permit, you might get deported to your home country. So please do not work. Again, do not work without authorization. Number 19. Have you ever been issued a final order of exclusion, deportation, or removal? Answer is no. Number 20. Have you ever had a prior final order of exclusion, deportation, or removal reinstated? The answer again is no. It is not applicable for me. Number 21. Have you ever held lawful permanent resident status which was later rescinded? Rescinded? My answer is no. So this may apply to those who have violated the terms and conditions of, again, their non-immigrant status. Next item is number 22. Have you ever been granted voluntary departure by an immigration officer or an immigration judge but failed to depart within the allotted time? My answer again is no. It never occurred to me. Number 23. Have you ever applied for any kind of relief or protection from removal, exclusion, or deportation? Again, my answer is no. Number 24A. Have you ever been a J non-immigrant exchange visitor who was subject to the 2-year foreign residence requirement? My answer is no. We are here for K1 visa. Next item, if you answered yes to item number 24A, complete item numbers 24B to 24C. If you answered no, item number 24A, skip to item number 25. So since my answer is no, I will no longer have to answer 24, B, and C. So now we go to item number 25. This is under criminal acts and violation. So make sure again to read this because it is very important. Okay? So I'll read to you the item number 25 to 30. 25. Have you ever been arrested, cited, charged, or detained for any reason by any law enforcement official, including but not limited to any U.S. immigration official or any official of the U.S. Armed Forces or U.S. Coast Guard? Okay, so no for me. Excuse me. Have you ever committed a crime of any kind? Even if you are not arrested, cited, charged with, or tried for that crime? No. Have you ever pled guilty or been convicted of a crime or offense, even if the violation was subsequently expunged or sealed by a court, or if you were granted by a pardon, amnesty, or rehabilitation decree, or other act of clemency? My answer is no. Note, if you were the beneficiary of a pardon, amnesty, rehabilitation decree, or other act of clemency, provide documentation of that post-conviction action. Number 28. Have you ever been ordered, punished by a judge, or had conditions imposed on you that restrained your liberty, such as prison sentence, suspended sentence, house arrest, parole, alternative sentencing, drug or alcohol treatment, rehabilitative programs or classes, probation or community service? Again, my answer is no. So, mga mare, magpakabait dito. Okay? So that your filing of your adjustment of status will go on smoothly. Okay? And number 29, have you ever been a defendant or the accused in a criminal proceeding, including pretrial diversion, deferred prosecution, deferred adjudication, or any withheld adjudication? Okay, answer again is no. Number 30, have you ever violated or attempted or conspired to violate any controlled substance, law, or regulation of a state, United States, or a foreign country? The answer is no. Okay, so excuse me that I have been yawning. It's just that it's still early in the morning where I am recording. Okay, we are now in page 11. Again, area number on the upper right corner of your page. Part 8. So, this has again a lot of questions, but please take your time to read each and every one of these questions and answer them accordingly. So this is again part of the general eligibility and inadmissibility grounds. So I will no longer be reading them one by one, but I will be telling you what my answers were. But make sure that you don't copy my answer just yet. Just make sure you read them each because it is really important. If you answered them incorrectly or dishonestly, it will be against you. Okay? So please read them one by one. Okay, I'll just tell the number, item number, and my answer. So number 31, my answer is no. 32, no. Number 33, no. Number 34, no. 35, I never engage in prostitution, no. Have you ever directly or indirectly procured imported prostitutes? Of course, no. Why would I? Number 37, my answer is no. Number 38, illegal gambling, child pornography, prostitution, no. Number 39, no. Number 40, I answered no. Number 41, no. Number 42, this is about human trafficking, no. Number 43, no. Number 44, no. Number 45, money laundering, no. Okay, another item here says security and related. Number 46A, do you intend to engage in any activity that violates or invades any law? Okay, so no. Number 46B, my answer is no. Number 46D, no. Number 46D, no. Number 46E, unlawful activity, no. Number 47, no. Okay, page 12. And this is part 8. Still, general eligibility and inadmissibility grounds. Again, don't forget your alien number at the upper right corner. So, again, make sure you read each of every item that you have here. So, in my case, all of my answers on this page is no. Okay? Just take your time to review each and every item on this if this applies to you. Remember, lying to the United States or to USCIS will only result to the denial or deportation for you and or your family. So make sure you answer this truthfully. Alright, so I may have lost the screenshots of my page. I think I missed some pages, but don't worry. Page 12 and 13, all you need to, let's see. Yep, from page 10, 11, 12, and 13, basically all of part 8, all I have answered on these pages is no. So just go over with each and every question, and don't forget to write your alien number on the upper right corners of these pages. But I assure you, I answered no on all of part 8. So in page 14, part 9, I am not requesting an accommodation because of my disability, so I also answered no for part 9, item number 1. Let me just go over item 80B on page 14 just to make sure. Okay, so yeah, I answered no to that as well. So let's go to page 15. It's part 10, applicant statement, contact information, declaration, certification, and signature. So on this, my statement, I did click or I did check the 1A. I can read and understand English, and I have read and understand every question and instruction on this on this application, and my answer to every question. So that's the item that I checked. But if you had an interpreter, please check 1B and put the interpreter's name on it. Okay, so I'll proceed to applicant's contact information. It's my telephone number, mobile number if any, and email address. Alright, so applicant's declaration and certification Copies of any documents I have submitted are exact photocopies of unaltered original documents, and I understand that USCIS may require that I submit original documents to USCIS at a later date. Furthermore, I authorize the release of any information from any and all of my records that USCIS may need to determine my eligibility for the immigration benefit that I seek. I understand that if I am a male who is 18 to 26 years of age, submitting this application will automatically register me with the Selective Service System as required by the Military Selective Service Act. So make sure you read everything in here. This is actually your certification that you have read everything and you answer this in your own willingness, that you're not forced in any kind, and that the information here is correct, complete, true at the time of filing. And then here in 6A, you need to sign it and the date of signature. So this is a small part of the form, but it is one of the most important boxes in this form, because I have read that most denials come from missing a signature and date on this application. Sometimes we get very excited and we forget. Okay, so there is a note: if you do not completely fill out this application or fail to submit required documents listed in the instructions, USCIS may deny your application. Now let's go to part 11, interpreter's contact information, certification, and signature. So since I did not use any interpreter, I left these items blank. Page 16. Again, don't forget your alien number at the upper right corner of this page. So we are still in part 11, interpreter's contact information, certification, and signature. Sorry. So I'm a little sleepy right now. So yeah, I left this blank from item number 3A to number 6. Also interpreter's certification and interpreter's signature, because I am the one who completed this form, so no need to put any interpreter. Also in part 12, contact information, declaration, and signature of the person preparing this application if other than applicant. So since I am the applicant and I'm the one who prepared this, I do not need to put anything on this page. Everything is blank in here except for my alien number at the upper right corner of this page. Okay, we are now at page 17, and again, don't forget alien number, upper right corner of this page, and then part 12. So this is continuation of the preparer's information. So just leave 7A, 7B, 8A, 8B blank. Okay, this is blank since you are the preparer and you are the applicant. Okay, let me just read here. So for part 13, do not complete part 13 until the USCIS officer instructs you to do so at the interview. So leave this page again blank, only alien number. So finally, we are at the last page of this form, I-485. And trust me, this is the longest form that you have to fill out. The other forms that we need to fill out is very easy. Um, and this is actually the most important form as well. So this needs to be thoroughly read by you. So we are at part 14 for the additional information. So again, alien number at the upper right corner of this page, and then this page is extra page for information throughout this form. If you have um, what are those items, if you have, or if you need more space for your other names, so you can put it here. Also for your address, if you need more space for the address, you can put it here. Just indicate what page number, what part, and what item number you are answering. Also for your employment history, if you have a lot of employer, you can put the information in here. So what I only have filled out on this form is 1A, B, and C, my name, given my last name, my given name, and my middle name, and then the of course the alien number at the upper right corner. So basically that's it for this form. You don't need anything else to fill out for this last page. Alright, so we have reached the end of this video, and I would like to thank you for staying with me, and I hope I helped you with this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on my YouTube channel, or you can also send me a message on my Instagram account at Marioni. It is in the description box below, and I hope you subscribe and like this video. See you soon, and I will be uploading part 2, part 3, and all of the bonus questions we have on AOS and filing of adjustment of status. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.